I'm your host, Stephen Vanover, here on the Sports Talk Line Network, where we talk sports 24/7, 365. This is Dallas Cowboys Talk Line Weekly. We are here with the man with no remorse, sports, Mr. Nate Dowdy. Good day, sir.
Well, I'll tell you this much. It's a victory Thursday. I'll tell you, and against a division rival. I don't care if we scoop that turd out of the toilet bowl or not. We still get a W.
All right. Well, that definitely made my brunch taste better. That's all I can say about that. But hey, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe below. Slap that notify bell. Give us a retweet on Twitter. Do whatever you have to do on Facebook, TikTok. We love you. Come on, give us that love out there. Without you guys, we are nothing. So let's get down to it. This is the Cowboys Talk Line Weekly. We're looking forward to next week, not back to last week's victory. Kinda. Okay. And but we're definitely looking about the game coming up, and we're talking about the Arizona Cardinals versus the Dallas Cowboys. This is the end of their homestand, and the Cardinals today are not the Cardinals of 5 years. I mean, they are a serious team, aren't they, Nate?
Yeah, they're a serious team. This isn't the Cardinals of the NFC East. Remember, you got to remember, the old school fans remember the Cardinals were a part of the NFC East at one point, and they were the butt of everyone's jokes along with the Philadelphia Eagles.
They were the instant win. All right. Yeah, the Cardinals were the of the old NFC East were I'm going to say the 2010s Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah. They went at least that far. But this isn't that same thing here. And I remember they took quite a bit of shit when they hired Cliff Kingsbury to be their coach because of his record in college. But he had the connection to Patrick Mahomes, and we're starting to see a little bit of a development from Kyler Murray.
A little bit. Oh my goodness. Let's talk about that, because in the green room we were talking about it. And we were looking at all the matchups, this, that, and everything. What the Cowboys have not run into this year yet is Kyler Murray at quarterback. I mean, Russell Wilson is a handful, don't get me wrong. But Kyler Murray, he likes to book it up the field, doesn't he?
Yeah, he likes to do that, but I think you play them the same way, because if you play them in a two-gap style, which the Cowboys are mixing and matching with here and there, if you can call it that you basically can't attack this guy super aggressively, because he can hurt you taking him up the field, buy time, and burn you down the field.
All right, let's just jump to the conversation. The conversation here today, unlike normal, where we look at the next week's contestant, that's not really what we're doing here today. We're not looking at next week's contestant. We're looking at next week's quarterback. We're looking at Andy Dalton, because Dak Prescott, the king is dead. Long live the king. We're talking about this season right now, Andy Dalton. And let's look at some career stats here, man. Okay, 135 games, not bad. So he has the experience, okay? 62% completion percentage. That's something you want to see out there. 204 touchdowns. Okay, the fact that 203 of them were to AC Green, that's okay. That's all right. Because here with the Cowboys, he doesn't have to focus in on one guy, does he?
Well, here's the thing. I think you're still hungover from your Lakers victory the other day. AC Green, I mean AJ Green, AC Green from the old Lakers. But
what are you talking about? I said it right.
Yeah. Oh, you disappeared for a second. I thought you went dashing down in Jerry's world for a second.
I'm back.
Anyway,
I'm back.
You're back, and you're better than ever. I tell you, lad. Anyway. Listen, Andy Dalton can play. I mean, he's arguably the best backup quarterback there is in the NFL. If there is a better one, name me that.
Okay, look, let me just ask you this. If chicks dig the long ball, is Andy Dalton a gimme on date night?
Well, no, they dig the fireball in his case. I mean, that's what he does.
He's got the red hair, okay. But no, I mean, the guy is a long ball specialist. Now, yeah, he can throw the ball down and out, but his decision-making on the other routes, it's always hard to gauge that, because in his history with the Cincinnati Bengals, they never really had a competent offense. They had a decent running game, and then they had Green to throw the ball too long. That was it. There was nothing in between. So what are his other assets? You know, he can definitely throw the outs. He's got the smoke on his ball to do that. But what I'm more interested in, believe me, is because right now, with the way the game is changing, when Dak went out, immediately the Dallas Cowboys went to hand the ball off to who? Ezekiel Elliott, which I think they should have done all season long. Now, you don't like to see those runs on first down? I do. Okay? And they started doing that. Boom, boom, boom. Now, when you do that and you're making yardage, and then you can take Andy Dalton, trot him back on a play action on second down, and let him go deep to Gallup. Who else? They got 4 receivers they can go deep to. Any of them striking from all over the field, man. He can go Gallup. He can go CeeDee Lamb. He can go anywhere he wants with his receivers. And he's got a tight end that he can hit slanting across or up the seam. I think this offense is made for Andy Dalton if they hand off the ball a lot. What do you think?
I really don't see the reason I don't see that being the case is I don't trust the offensive linemen there are out there. I don't see them being able to handle these 10, 12 play drives where they're going to be disciplined enough to not be able to give up a sack, give up a holding call, and put Andy Dalton in poor situations. That's why I don't like that necessarily, that philosophy. With that being said, though, Andy Dalton does like to rip the ball down the field, as we saw late in the game to the hoss Michael Gallup.
And Wilson. I mean, my goodness, wherever you want to go to a receiver for him, he's got a guy who can catch the ball and do damage after the catch. Every one of them have run after the catch ability. So, yeah, I mean, has he ever been in an offense where they said, you know what, screw it, let's toss? No, he's not. And he's got a big arm, but he's never been known for his decision making. He's been known for being able to spot one-on-one deep and let it go. Other than that, his best move has been to hand off, and at least he's got Ezekiel Elliott to hand it to. Now, I think you give a tremendous point. There's no denying it. The Cowboys are missing both starting offensive tackles. And on the right side, all right, this is something I wanted to talk to you about. I talked about it in the green room. Terrence Steele, UDFA. I view him a lot as Doug Free, a guy that his first few seasons in the league, he was on skates going backwards. He did not have NFL strength. But once he got his strength up, man, it all worked out for him. And he was a very valuable player for the Cowboys for a lot of years. But now, Steele is not getting that luxury, is he?
No, he looks like Nancy Kerrigan out there post-accident. So, you speaking of ice skates, but let's put it this way. I think the hope is he turns into Doug Free, but unfortunately right now we don't have the luxury of having him sit on the bench. He's going to have to be out there and be our starting right tackle. Now, unfortunately, we saw the mix and match offensive lineman in the Seattle game where actually Zach Martin was playing right tackle. Unfortunately, they don't have the luxury to be able to have the depth inside with the injury to Joe Looney.
Well, yeah, but they don't have to worry about that. And you and I talked about this in the green room as well, and it's Tyler Biadasz. Am I saying that correctly?
It's Biadasz, goddammit.
Oh, I blew it again.
And,
but
that's
those
okay Polish last names
because
just roll right off the tongue.
As many times as I blow it, this kid ain't blowing nothing, is he?
No, he had a tough outing last week, even though he went up against some superior defensive tackles and Dalvin Tomlinson. That's a tough matchup for any starting center, and he held himself well, like a legitimate starting
he's not dominating. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
What I'm saying is he's not embarrassing himself, and he's not saying, when you look at the Cowboys offensive line, you're not going like, oh, center, we got a problem. It's like, no, okay, could it be better? Oh, hell yeah, 100%. But when you're dealing with a guy at this level, he's going to do nothing but get better if he's not failing, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think a lot of people have to pump their brakes a little bit because they see a big white guy from Wisconsin and they assume he's going to be Travis Frederick right out the gate. But if you remember, Travis Frederick actually had some problems coming out of the gate too. So.
Oh, yeah. First of all, he was drafted in the first round.
Chocolate bleu.
Chocolate bleu.
Yeah.
Your eyes say yes, but your lips say no. All right. All right. And as we move down the line here on my list, now, the Cowboys D is 32nd in the league. 32nd, dude. Let me help you out. That's last.
Wait, out of how many teams again?
They are 32nd out of 22 teams.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
The first time didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but now it does.
Yeah. They are
going
that
back to the AFL days.
Bad. They're that freaking bad. On the other hand, just like I mentioned, with the rookie center, he's going to continue to get better. So is the Dallas Cowboys defense, because they are. I hedge to use the term gel, because, but I watched Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith in the first few games, he was just making bad play after bad play because his angles were all wrong. He's not seeing the defense. He's not understanding it. But here, the last 2 games, I'm seeing him starting to make some plays, starting to be in the right position. So as he starts to be in the right position, other players will start to be in the right position. Now, I don't have a lot of hope for a Nolan defense because they've always been middle of the road. Always. He's never had a number 1 defense in the league. Ever. I don't know why they were getting him like, this is the answer. Hey, man, the previous guy had a number 1 defense in the league. Okay, this guy has always been mediocre. But the talent on the defense, I think, is good. And if the offense can help them with a little bit of time of possession love. I'm just talking about a little love for the time of possession. Do you disagree that that's going to help a lot?
Well, the only thing I can agree with is that you could cut glass with those nipples after that last thing you did right there. Yeah, right. But, yeah, no, time of possession's been awful, and that's just been the real killer. And the worst part about it is, if you look at the Carolina Panthers, what they did last year against the run game, and that's who we essentially got as their 2 defensive tackles. One blew out his quad in the preseason. The other one's just getting double penetrated by offensive guards and centers throughout the entire league. So thank you, Dontari Poe.
Yeah, the guy that at one point. All right, and as you can tell, I'm back now. Sorry about that. My computer froze. It was like, okay, all right. I'm back now, and yeah, Dontari Poe. Remember, there was a point when Cowboys Nation was calling out, screaming, "Draft him first round! Draft him first round!" Which actually is not all that bad of a deal, because I mean the Cowboys have screwed up on a lot of first round picks. But he's had a horrible season, hasn't he?
Yeah, like I said, he has one cock in this mouth and the other one in this hand.
Okay, let me help you out. When I look up horrible season, NFL, cock in both mouth, bad. Okay, so that's bad. No, that's bad. Okay, horrible.
I don't know. I want to make that clear. That
horrible,
means bad.
Horrible even. Okay. All right, so now we're running into the Cardinals. All right. Let's do the matchup real quick and let's break it down. We'll start with their best player, okay, which is Peterson in the backfield as a DB. He's not the best player anymore, is he?
No, it was Chandler Jones, actually brother of former light heavyweight UFC champion John Jones.
Former Patriot Chandler Jones.
Yeah, and then Chandler Jones is out for the season now. So speaking of the offensive tackles, they're getting a huge break by not facing him because they like to do a lot of different things with him. They like to kick him inside, rush interior, and kick him outside where he normally is best and just feast on offensive
I don't want to hear about your weekend swap group and how many different things you're going to do with that. What I want to talk about is...
You will hear about it and like it.
What I want to hear about is, all right, Patrick Peterson. He's not the man he was, and as we talked about in the green room, it's not like he's a shutdown corner. Put him on one guy. Now you've made a difference. The Cowboys don't have one guy to cover, do they?
No, they got Little Deuce Coop. You don't know what I want. And
by the way, we need to take a moment of silence here, as all Cowboys fans do every weekend, to thank the Atlanta Falcons for letting us have CeeDee Lamb. Okay, we're done. Thank you.
CeeDee Lamb.
All right. We love you, Atlanta. We love you, Atlanta. Okay?
Yeah, and for giving us our first victory of the season.
Oh, yeah, there's so many reasons to love Atlanta. You have CeeDee Lamb, you got the first victory, and you got shrimp and grits. Yo.
I've never had shrimp and grits. Is that any good? A moment of silence for me, I guess.
All right. Moving on along. Next time you come down to my house, my man, shrimp grits happening. All right. And let's go back now to the offensive side of the ball. You mentioned one player to be worried about. I mentioned another. Because, yeah, DeAndre Hopkins, okay, he may be the best wide receiver in the NFL. Okay, whatever. But Larry Fitzgerald, he'll take your heart out.
No, I mean, not unless he's dating you or something like that. I mean,
well, he may be dating you. I've heard rumors.
Yeah, you've heard. Yeah, it gets brutal out there, man. Womenizers out there. Anyways.
No, but seriously, man, Larry Fitzgerald, dude. I mean, I realize he doesn't have the physical skills he used to have. Hey, let me help you out. He never had those physical skills. He was never a speed guy. He was never this. He was never that. He was always one thing: hands. And he still got them. And that is why he's the most dangerous wide receiver in the game for the Cardinals.
Well, that's also another same thing with DeAndre Hopkins. He was never a guy who was ever going to really burn you down the field, but he's a guy who just has an amazing catch radius despite what's
He's a guy that's going to burn you down the field every damn time. And I'll say that only because of one reason. He burns you down the field every damn time. That's the only way. He's not the fastest guy, not the tallest guy, but what does he do? Nothing but, it's like what was it, Chris Carter? Nothing but touchdowns.
Nothing but touchdowns, that's right. And then find a fallout guy.
There you go. So, yeah, I agree. DeAndre Hopkins, unreal. Plus, he's got his money. So he's motivated, man. Right now, he's motivated. I find when they get the money that year, the next year they're not so motivated. But the year they get the money, they're very motivated. So you got two wide receivers that can go, and then you got a QB that can do two things. He can create more time, and then he can sling the freaking rock, can he?
Yeah, he can. And it's funny because this is going to be the battle of two former Texas high school quarterbacks here between Andy Dalton and Kyler Murray, who won a state championship.
All right.
You would have thought two Texas players playing in the NFL.
And they have a running game that is effective primarily because their passing game is so nasty. But their best running back is, without a doubt, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, definitely. They found some chemistry with Kenyon Drake and everything, but they definitely, with the way they're really going to scare you is with Kyler Murray and taking it himself and play, not even design plays and plays that break down. You can break your heart.
Let's step through it, man. Let's step through it. The three phases of the game. Let's wind this shit up. First of all, the offensive side of the game. You have the Dallas Cowboys, the third-ranked offense in the NFL, but the quarterback's dead, so, all right, whatever. And then you have the Arizona Cardinals, which are somewhere else. All right, who's going to win the offensive game? And also look at the defenses they're going up against.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm going with Arizona. I just don't see the Cowboys have the horses to be able to keep up with a Kyler Murray-led offense and the weapons they have out there.
All right. And this is where I'm going to divert from you.
Ooh!
Yeah. I'm diverting because I believe that the Dallas Cowboys go back to the winning formula, which is feed Zeke. All right.
Give him the
Make him earn that contract, dude. If he's not going to earn it, make him pay for it. One or the other, okay? All right. I just like that crazy face. I got my crazy face when I did that. All right, now let's go to defensive side of the ball, the defensive phase of the game. You have the Arizona Cardinals, which actually have a defense, and then you have the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, let's move on to the special teams phase.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's not even go there, man. I think we all know the answer there.
The Dallas Cowboys defense woke up last week a little bit. They started showing some emotion, but they have some issues, man. You had Xavier Woods saying, well, I don't go 100% all. You can't do that in an NFL game. And, man, their coach that left would have just shot him on sight right there. He would have, done an Elmer Fudd on him right there and just, eliminated. He wouldn't have cut him. He would have eliminated him for saying shit like that. And
yeah, probably would have hit him in the ankle, but, be taken.
And now they're on a defense where the defense corner goes yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just don't see. Their best player on defense is missing at the moment, but I just
Byron Jones, he went, yeah.
Yeah, and And also Arizona, Chandler Jones left.
Oh,
So-
yeah, him too, yeah.
He's injured, didn't leave, but I just don't see how the Cowboys can legitimately get a stop. I just don't see it. I mean,
If the Cowboys defense shows up with emotion and plays, which I think they will this game because of Dak Prescott, I believe the Dallas Cowboys will have a defense for a game or two. That is why I'm giving the defensive side for this one game, I've not done this all season, to the Dallas Cowboys.
okay. We got a winner for the Dallas Cowboys on the defensive side of the ball. So what is
Special
it? I got to
teams.
ask you this.
Okay.
What does a defensive win look like to you for the
W-
Dallas Cowboys?
For this weekend, a W on the scoreboard.
Okay. But so does that mean below 30 points?
Yes.
Okay, that means below 30 points.
Yes, I think that's very reasonable. Yes, if you're looking to define what I'm saying is the win, yeah, the Cowboys have to hold them below 30, and I believe they're going to hold them below 24.
Whoa, okay. How about that for a hot take?
Okay, and I was talking about 24 splash plays, but that's okay. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about
No, I think they'll hold them below 24 points. Okay, special teams. Cowboys special teams? Oh, hit, miss. But they still have the watermelon kick. And the Arizona special teams, which have been doing fairly good.
Yeah, I got to take Arizona here. I just can't. You just can't. I've yet to see a splash play other than that watermelon kick on special teams this entire year.
Oh, I have. They just been by the other team.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, you got a point there. I got to agree with you. The Arizona special team should win. Again, I have to divert from you. I think they're still riding the emotional high. I think the Cowboys special teams come through. And that is why I picked the Cowboys to win a close game, 24-31. What do you pick?
I'm taking Arizona 29-24.
No.
Blasphemy!
All right. It is what it is. And that's where we are right now. You can find this guy over here, the one who picked the other team. You can find him on Twitter at No Remorse Sports. And there you'll find him just telling the truth like he just did today, okay? And you can find me on Twitter at Stephen Vanover, where you're going to find me just telling the way it's actually going to happen, just like today. Okay. And before you leave, please hit that subscribe, okay? We really appreciate it. Without you all, seriously, this doesn't happen. Thank you so much. And on the comments down below, hit who you're going to think is going to win and why. And last word? No, it ain't mine.
Well, you're better listen like you play with intensity.
Go Cowboys!